Hey guys, welcome back to the Stillness Everyday podcast. I am Herodotos, and today I'm going to talk about some tax savings that I believe a lot of people wouldn't know about, and I think at the end of the year you can save a little bit of money that will definitely obviously help you out, because a dollar saved is a dollar earned. All right, so one thing I do that is entirely legal is a portion of the rent you pay in your residential house can be used as a business expense if you are using that area of your house for business purposes. So if you're a tradesman and you're using your garage, or if you do e-com and you've got just boxes of things that you're trying to sell or that you're packaging and selling out of your garage, you can measure the square meter of your garage and divide it by the total square meters of your house. So for example, if your garage is 18 square meters and your whole house is 180 square meters and your garage is used entirely for business, you can deduct 10% of your weekly rent. So if your garage is 18 square meters, your house is 180 square meters, that's 10% of your whole house that you're using for business. Your business can pay that portion, which of $500, that could be $50 a week, and your business can receive that as a tax deduction. The same applies to your office. If one of your bedrooms is actually being used as an office, it could be, a 10 square meter room, 10 square meters divided by your 180 square meter house. This also would include electricity as well, I believe, because the percentage, if you're working on 10% of your house being used for business, then 10% of your electricity would also be covered under that as well. So you would obviously just need to pay for that portion back to yourself as a business expense. So I think there's a lot of things that we aren't taught. We're never taught about tax in school. We never learn this. You either learn it when you're in business, or you speak to accountants, or you speak to other business people. And there is so many different savings where you can use as a tax deduction that will add up at the end of the year, and you won't just be giving money away to the government that realistically doesn't spend it very well. So another thing, obviously, your fuel, if your car is being used this is for business, right? So it's not if you are employed, but obviously your car's probably a 90% write-off because you would drive most of the week. If you have a business, you're probably driving on Saturdays for work too. So obviously your car, if it's 90% used for business, then you've got 90% of your registration, your insurances, your services, your car expenses, your fuel, cleaning your car. All of this is under a business expense, so it's all tax deductible. Your phone, obviously coffees, if you have meetings, like most of the coffees that I have most of the time I go to a cafe, I'm having a meeting with someone. So that is a tax deduction. Like, it's part of my work. So coffees are obviously a cost to my business. When you go out for a business lunch, if you're taking someone out that you're doing, a potential client, if you're in a service-based industry and you want to introduce yourself or introduce your services, you can buy them lunch. It's all tax deductible. So I think some people would argue that it's not worth the effort to save these pennies, I suppose. But I believe that it's so simple that if you have a business card and you think every time you're going to spend money, is this a cost to business? Am I buying this because I need it for work, or I'm doing this in a work environment? Then you can buy it. There's nothing illegal about it. It's not like you're not lying to the government, because you are in fact doing that with business. When I go and get a coffee with someone that I'm potentially going to lease a building to, or I've just met and I'm potentially going to use their services because they're a lawyer or they're a valuer or they're a tradesman, I'm buying them a coffee and I'm buying myself a coffee, and we're talking that is a business expense. So it's not being dodgy or shady. It's just about thinking, when you go to spend money, am I going to use this card because I believe this is a business expense? Take a photo of it, keep a record of it, and then match it with your books. I don't think it's difficult. Some people say that saving these pennies on the dollar at tax time isn't worth it. I believe by the end of the year, you end up saving a couple $1,000s, and it will be worth it. I believe taxes are a bit of a joke. You've got goods and service tax, you've got your company tax, you've got your personal tax, you've got a tax if you employ over a certain amount of people, you've got payroll tax. You're constantly getting taxed for every single thing that you do in business. If your business earns money, you pay tax on it. You're getting taxed every single where along the lines of running a business. That I want to make sure that I'm saving as much of my tax as I possibly can, because everything's getting taxed, and the government is not they don't give a fuck. They're just going to keep taking. So you want to make sure that you can retain as much as possible. I believe, even morally, I feel better about retaining more money myself to spend than giving it to the government to spend and give money to Ukraine as aid and laundered back to politicians. Thank you for listening.